Hey everyone, it's March 19th, 2017, and we are here today to talk about Into the Badlands. So, this is our preview episode for Into the Badlands. So, welcome everybody to the Unofficial Talking Badlands show. I'm Gavin, and this is my dad, Gary. So, just go ahead and talk about it's been over a year since we did the last video. Now, part of that reason why is due to the fact there hasn't been much known about the Badlands. We have researched a little bit about the characters, which we'll do a little bit later on. Um, but so tonight at 10 Eastern, no, yeah, 10 Eastern, 9 Central time zone on AMC, Into the Badlands starts season 2. Now, real quick, spoiler warning, since we have to say that through, or we'll get flagged on YouTube. Um, at the end of the first Into the Badlands season, we saw that Sonny got captured by the Rivermaster for lying to him because he was supposed to bring his student MK's head to the Rivermaster because, well, the Rivermaster lost a lot of money because of MK. All right, so there was a big fight erupted, and basically at the very end, one of the things we see is that not Quinn, Sonny, my bad. I said Quinn the whole time, didn't I?
No, you said so.
I did say Sonny. Okay, all right. Sonny was getting taken off. Now, also keep in mind though that Sonny was the regent, head, the head fighter. You know, a regent's the head fighter for the Baron Quinn. Okay. Now, the big problem for Quinn, not for Quinn, one, he was losing power, and two, he had a brain tumor. We'll get into that here. Explained by his fate here in a second. Uh, Basically, Sonny is not in the Badlands anymore. Now, his girlfriend, who's pregnant with his child, is still in the Badlands. So, I'm speculating by looking at the preview of it that he's going to try to get back into the Badlands. Don't know how he's going to do it. Now, I'm going to let him say a couple of things real quick, then we'll talk about the trailer a little bit. So, just talk about like last season.
That's it. Yes, it kind of all came to a head when Sonny was taken off. He was literally sold up the river, to use an old cliche. And of course, everything is going haywire because the past regent, I can't remember his name, was in the wheelchair.
I can't remember his name either.
I can't remember. Quinn's old regent. He loves to stir up. His philosophy is if there's too much order, there needs to be chaos in order to have better order in the long run. That is his philosophy. And so he was behind the scenes trying to stir up mess, as they say, and he succeeded.
Now, real quick, Quinn, the Baron that Sonny followed, did die at his hands. Quinn, during the final fight, where he sliced Quinn actually sliced MK's hand to like his little powers, his little dark side, whatever you want to call it. Now, the reason why he did this was because his son, as well as the widow, the Black Widow, or widow, whatever you want to call her, the Baroness, uh, was going to attack him, along with one, and I can't remember his name, with one of the other barons. Okay? Now, so they had their man there. He cuts MK's hand, and basically, oh, I'm going to go hide in the shadows and let MK do all the work. He sees that. Sonny stabs him right in the stomach, so he knew who killed him. Alright, finishing up the last of the previous season, MK gets his butt beat within 3 hits by none other than 3 monks who have the same abilities as him. Now, we don't see this at first. They just knock him out. Then Sonny basically says, you're not taking him. Fight ensues. And then that's when Sonny gets the crap beat out of him by 3 monks, or as Quinn's first wife said, her dad said, the Dark Ones. So they're basically, from my understanding, they're called the Dark Ones. Probably because their eyes turn like black during the whole
Episode.
Thank you, episode. Now they beat the crap out of Sonny, then he gets crashed by the Rivermaster. So now, boom, second season starts. But keep in mind though, which I forgot to mention, was MK was being taken away to wherever the monks are going. So we see a little bit in the preview for season 2 that MK is training. He's got a little bit hair, so we don't know as much as what MK is going to be doing in part of the season. I think it's partially going to be him mostly learning about his abilities, about his past a little bit more. So it's going to be a little bit more flashback for him. He'll probably get to show up and do some fights. Most like when he hears that the barons and everything are causing problems, because he has a thing for the widow's daughter, Matilda. Now, of course, everything's in pretty much somewhat chaos. The wheelchaired, that's the teacher,
Regent.
that yeah, regent, as we call him. We're calling wheelchair regent right now. I cannot remember his name. He basically, he's working for Widow now. Okay, don't
Uh,
know, don't know about his whole role. I don't think he's the regent. He's probably just a person who helps train. But we also see that Quinn's son has taken over his area, both him and his second wife, his son's girlfriend. So don't know much about that. We do see his mother make an appearance, so we don't know if she's back in good graces or not, or trying to be. I kind of also got a feeling that this season we're going to find a little bit more about her dad, because her dad seems very manipulative, controlling. Because I mean, he basically runs a cult. I mean, in my
yes.
opinion, he runs a
Yes.
cult.
Let's go.
Now we kind of see a little bit of what's like life outside the Badlands. Hardworking, in a sense. Sonny kind of gets a new friend, a big old kind of bearded guy. We only see a little bit of that, but we do start seeing a little bit more of some of the other, I guess, barons. We can see some of their outfits, or their sections. I do know there was one that was heavily Chinese influenced. Um,
Their world has expanded.
right. So remember, we only saw 3 barons this past season. So
Yes.
now we haven't seen the others. Hopefully, we'll get to see all the other barons, and as well as their respective regions. Now, something I'm really looking forward to is at one point in it, besides the fact Sonny is trying to get back, uh, you kind of see a paramilitary group kind of work their way in at 1 or 2 scenes. And of course, there's no guns allowed in the Badlands. So the creators will sit there and said flat out, boom, no guns. Which to me, I do like, because that what works good with the martial arts. But something that's like, you see somebody using like special forces drop down type of movement. So we don't know who they are. If there's some kind of secret group, or probably from the,
Mercenaries.
well, I wouldn't say mercenaries. They could be from the Shangri-La group. But as you guys know, the martial arts in it has been heavily influenced by. Uh, I mean, I can sit there and say this is probably the closest thing we've got in a long time for having an anime fight scene in live action.
Yep.
Uh, the main guy, Sonny, I know he does. He's got wushu. If you guys don't know what wushu is, it's a form of kung fu, probably from China. And I want to say Jet Li might do a little wushu.
Yes.
Actually, I think that is his style,
He
is
is
wushu.
Wushu.
Yeah, I want to say he is wushu. So with the martial arts, and I saw some of the behind the scenes stuff that they really, really practice. I mean, they practice over in, I want to say, Scotland or Ireland. And literally, I mean, it's not just, okay, just do the movement. It's like, no, they're really focusing on the technique and movement. So if you're a fan of martial art films, this is something that I would suggest you go see. There is a little bit of stuff that, yeah, we can't do, like some high flying maneuvers. But I had to say all the martial arts is very accurate to what the maneuvers are really supposed to do. As a traditional martial artist myself, who likes practicing more of the core basis of the martial art and seeing what it can go to. There's not a lot of rolling on the ground, which I'm very thankful for, because I mean, you got 15 guys coming after you. You're not going to roll on the ground. If you get on the ground, you want to get right back up. We have seen guys who are really big, small. I mean, there's various sizes. I mean, really, really a diversity on people's capabilities, as well as the females. The females are really, really good, well trained in this one. Anything you want to add?
Oh yeah. Of course, there is wire work as there is in a lot of the Chinese martial art movies, but it is very well done. You can't hardly tell. A lot of movements they do, except for gliding in the air for 30 and 40 yards, are really quite capable if somebody is trained and they have been practicing a long time doing it.
So I will say this about the cinematography aspect of it is that I'm really glad they're not doing the full 300 cinematography. And what I mean is where they do one or two movements and they slow it down, one to slow it down. That's something that I know got really popular after the movie 300 came out. I didn't see a lot of that in the first season of Into the Badlands, which I was really, really happy because I know that's become like a really, really big thing. Is do like two or three movements, slow it down, or
Everything is natural speed.
right. And to me, that makes it so much better. Story wise, my predictions is for this season, besides MK learning about his past, I see Sonny learning about his past because I kind of got the feeling Sonny had a similar medallion as MK, but I kind of have a feeling that Sonny might be some kind of like lost child or something, in my opinion.
Could be.
Don't know. I know one thing with the widow, she's getting a lot more screen time this time with her fight scenes. Um, it is possible to do some of the martial arts on heels, but don't get yourself. She has wire work done on a lot of the scenes. I mean, it is possible to find yourself in high heels, but I would not suggest it. Fun little fact for you: high heels was originally worn by men who were horseback riders. So high heels was not wouldn't technically be common in my opinion in the Badlands unless you're riding horseback, which that's what it was meant for, because it shows too aristocratic. Now, yes, the widow wants to show she's aristocratic, she's, but at the same time, that's the only non-practical thing I see. As for the setting, we'll just have to watch the next couple episodes and see.
So what's going to happen?
See what's going to happen. So my prediction is MK is going to get stronger. He's probably going to make an appearance during probably about episode 3. He'll make a major appearance, is what I'm thinking. And then Quinn, not Quinn, but I do think Quinn's going to be in a couple episodes, but I think it's going to be flashback episodes talking about how he came to be or something. I don't think they got rid of him just yet, so we're probably going to see him in flashbacks now. I will say that I'm looking forward to seeing more history about Sunny, as well as kind of find out what that paramilitary group is.
Where they come from? Who are they? What are
Right.
they about?
What are you looking for this season?
Well, you got three main stories going right now with the widow and Quinn's family, and they're feuding and fighting amongst themselves, and how that's going to turn out. And then MK, his training, that's the second story. And of course, the third story is Sonny trying to get back to where his wife is and his child.
Right. So tonight, everybody is on AMC. Into the Badlands season 2 starts. That's 10/9 Central. You can check it every Sunday at 10/9 Central on AMC. Make sure that also if you're behind on episodes, go to amc.com and find links to where you can see it. They probably have some streaming sites on there where they might have previous episodes. If not, go buy the DVDs. You can buy it on DVD or Blu-ray for a decent price. Now the first season's only 6 episodes. The last time I checked, this one's going to be 10. So that's not bad so far, especially for something of this caliber. So maybe next season we'll get like 16, 17. We don't know. Maybe they'll do a split season like they do on The Walking Dead. But we will have the first official review episode of Into the Badlands later no later by next week. Okay, so until then, everybody, remember to catch it on AMC.com for any information on Into the Badlands, as well as check it out on AMC 10/9 Central on Sundays. Now, second season premieres tonight. Now, also, don't forget to check out our previous episodes of the Unofficial Talking Badlands, as well as check some other things on our site, our other vlogs, our reviews that we have done, as well as some little music videos we've done, as well as interviews from conventions we've been at. And that's here on Strong Path Entertainment. Don't forget to check out our sister page, Strong Path Productions, which has all of our films that we've done. All right, we got a couple more coming down the pipeline, and also look us up on Facebook, Strong Path Productions, for any information, as well as contacting us. Say, hey, I'd like for you to review this, or what are you guys doing next? So just keep that in mind, everybody. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as that little button that appears afterwards, the little bell button. So anytime we have anything new comes up, you immediately get, hey, we put up something new. All right, everybody. So that's it for today. Hope you guys watch the show tonight. 10/9 Central on AMC.